trying to save So-mi. Who she is. Blackwall's eating your mind.
Nothing. You understand nothing. Two-faced.
Ah! Ah!
안녕하세요. 무비프레스 시청자 여러분, 에디터 크리스입니다. 오늘 특별 인터뷰를 준비했는데요. 비디오 게임 사이버펑크 2077 팬들이시라면 아주 반가우실 겁니다. 사이버펑크 2077 팬텀 리버티에서 한국인 캐릭터죠. 송소미, 닉네임이 송버드, 이 역할에 캐스팅 되신 민지님을 모시고 오늘 이야기를 나눠보겠습니다.
Clock's ticking. Relic will finish me sooner rather than later.
Just don't get played.
Hi, Minji.
안녕하세요.
Thank you so much for taking time for this interview.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. This is really exciting to be interviewed by Korea right now.
Is it first time in Korea, interviewing Korean?
Well, besides the podcast, the
Minji
Minji
podcast.
they're my friends. This is my first Korean media outlet or, interview that I've ever done.
Could you say hello to 무비프레스 subscribers?
무비프레스 subscriber, 안녕하세요. 저 장민지입니다. 반갑습니다.
Could you please introduce yourself briefly?
My name is Minji Chang, and I've been acting professionally for about 12 years now, but I guess something to include in that is that I haven't been acting only in that time. I've had a number of other types of work, including working in the nonprofit world and really advocating for diversity and diverse representation of Asian Americans in media. So that was actually a large part of my life. So acting hasn't been the only thing that I do, and voice acting has only been maybe the last 6-7 years, but mostly in the commercial world.
We have a brand new collab to be excited about. SanDisk Professional. Premium pro-grade storage solutions. See how Google Cloud is being used to analyze March Madness.
So this is my very first video game ever, and my first big character that I've ever done. So it's a really big honor that it's for such an amazing game and for such a well-loved world, and with two superstars like Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba. It's like the best surprise ever. And I'm also a filmmaker, and yeah, I'm learning a lot of things, going to screenwriting and getting into directing and things like that.
First time I personally got to know you was on a Minji podcast with Danny Cho. So now do you understand the meaning of the words like 머머리 and 댕댕이?
Do you guys know what a 댕댕이 is?
No.
Right? It's a dog.
I kind of forgot that. That conversation was really fun. That was almost a year ago, and Danny I've known for a really long time now. I've known him for 13 years. And so Danny is always, him, Bobby, a lot of different Korean Americans that I know, they've always been educating me on Korean culture. And I've had my own interests, but I have multiple cultures that I navigate. So learning all the slang words and knowing what's cool and what's popular is always really fun. So visiting Korea last year and having them educate me was a really fun time. I'm glad we had that conversation, but I still don't remember what those words mean, sadly.
Okay. Recently, Korean characters are often starring in American commercial films and dramas. Is this leading to more opportunities for you or other Korean actors?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's interesting. I was mentioning the work that I was doing, alongside acting all these years. So for 15 years, I've been involved. I was involved with an organization called Collaboration with a K. And it was actually originated as a Korean American organization, specifically to showcase Korean American talent. And then it opened up to represent all Asian Americans in, the United States and North America, including Canada. And that showcase, it was a talent showcase that was all around the country and all these different major cities. We were at one point, we were in 14 cities at once. And these were, very grassroots where volunteers, young adults, students, professionals, we would get together in our cities, we would audition talent, and we would create these talent showcases to show everybody what Asian Americans can do. Because in Hollywood and in mainstream media, it's a very stereotypical roles that have been existing, and that depiction of Asian Americans has been very, very narrow and very not through an accurate lens of all that we can do in our depth and our humor, our sexiness, everything, So I think all that work, that organizations like Collaboration, they've been around for 20 plus years, and a number of other organizations in America, they did a lot of work. And I say we've done a lot of work to create those opportunities, to create opportunities for the talent to be showcased, put them on YouTube, to get them press publications, whatever, and change the perspective of Hollywood and change the perspective of media and the audience, the society, to welcome Asian American stories and to be interested in us besides being a sidekick or being, kung fu master or geisha person or, these very, very small, stereotypical, very dehumanizing roles. That's been a very organized effort in America, in the States, for a really long time. And so for me, I have so much gratitude and so much excitement, and I feel very empowered because I know, the work that I did with my friends and so many other amazing people that I really respect, that work is really paying off. I think, talking to studios, making sure that there's opportunities for writers. Writers are so huge in creating the world that eventually, Korean Americans, not even just Korean Americans, but Koreans from Korea, like having these different stories shared with the world. It starts so much with writers, and then you need, producers, you need funding, you need people to give money and get the cast right, and then have the actors come in, the music, like everything, costuming, all those things play such a huge role in making a story that's captivating. And I think when you have a good product, in this case, like a great game, a great film, a great show, that does create interest, it creates connection, and then it creates more opportunities. All those things like lay groundwork for more opportunities to come. So it's been really exciting. It's been such an exciting time to witness all of this. And then now as an actor myself, to be part of this in Cyberpunk it's a really, really cool feeling.
Cyberpunk is a really big step for you, for your career, right?
I hope so. I mean, that's yet to be determined. So, the game just got released, and I was actually sick the first 2 weeks that it came out, so I couldn't kind of participate the way I wanted to. But no, it's been really cool to see the audience response. It's, she's a very, provocative character. So it's cool that everybody is so excited about her and that she's made an impact. I'm really, really touched by that, and we'll see what happens after.
And personally, I'm very happy because I'm watching like American TV series for almost 20 years, and in the past, like the description of like Korean characters so very typical, like in the TV series Lost. Yeah. And it progressed so much if compared to the like 20 years ago. So I'm very happy for like Korean American actors.
I love that. What other shows did you watch? And I'm like, curious.
Like these days.
One
with Sandra Oh was the main character, the chair.
The chair.
The chair.
It's funny in that story. My friend, she's a good friend of mine through Collaboration, but her father plays Sandra Oh's father.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard he's not the professional actor.
He's not.
He's not, right?
Whole professional life was working in insurance, and he's, retired and like figuring out his next steps. And so he got into acting, and it's so cool.
Do you think the recent trend of many Korean American actors being cast in American movies and TV series has influenced the creation of the songbird character and casting you as a Korean American voice actor to play the songbird character?
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I personally, even in the States, I grew up listening to K-pop too. I grew up listening to K-pop in the 90s, and
from 90s? Really?
Tobo. I was listening to Pink and SES, and I still listen to it. I have a whole playlist. I still listen to it because it makes me so happy. I've witnessed again like how much Korea has influenced culture stateside, but watching that from being, my friends, in middle school and stuff, they were listening to HOT as well. And they're Filipino, they're Chinese American, Japanese American, were listening to that. But then now I think it's way more global, right? Like the whole world is very aware of Korean culture. So that makes me really excited and really proud. And I think that global interest and this like explosion of art and music and film, we're so excited what happened when Parasite won the Oscars. That was completely groundbreaking for, a foreign film or like a Korean film, especially to take Best Picture. That's just never happened in all of Oscars history. It's definitely indicative of like this global, more like the world is getting smaller. And so we're more interested in foreign narratives. And I think the success of all the different Korean culture that's been touching the whole world has, created this curiosity with these game developers to have a Korean character. So I got really lucky. I guess, I was ready for the opportunity.
Could you like explain about the game Phantom Liberty, what it's about, and explain the plot as simply as possible?
I hope as simply as possible. That might be difficult. So for me, I'll say when I took this role and even when I found out what game it was, it didn't register with me. It didn't connect completely because I've never played the game before. I'm not a gamer. So I had to research and when I finally realized it's I had heard a little bit about Cyberpunk because there was so much press and, the people who are fans of it are very passionately fans about it. So when I figured out what it was, and I understood it's about this punk rock world and dystopian, like very gritty and rebellious, energy to the storyline. I was really excited. It's not my usual genre. So when I found out about Cyberpunk, I was trying to learn the base game because Cyberpunk already exists. So my role is in the expansion. It's kind of like a sequel a little bit. I don't know if a sequel is right, but it's an expansion of the existing game. And so we have the main character, V, who, you choose which character you play. V is the person that you're experiencing this whole game through. I don't know. Should I share things that are potentially spoilers? I don't want to, if people haven't played the game yet, I don't want to ruin it.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Well, my character, Somi, who goes by Songbird, she's a very, very talented net runner or hacker. Like she's one of the top in maybe the world. She's very talented at what she does, and then she is the right-hand person to the president of the new United States of America. So that's established, and then she has a mentor, which she's the protege of Idris Elba's character, Solomon Reed. And then, she encounters the main character, V, may or may not have something that V wants really badly. And then that's how they go on this journey together and find out, how they can overcome the obstacles. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I won't spoil that for you.
How did you get a role as a Songbird character? Well, you already mentioned about the audition. So what kind of preparation have you done since you were chosen for the role? And you said you didn't play the game, right?
Yeah, I didn't play the game.
Are you going to? No?
I'm interested, to be honest. I'm really intrigued. I think it comes from, I get a little nervous that I don't think I'm a really good gamer. There's so many, when I watch people play this, I went on Twitch and I watched people play the game. There's so many things happening at once that I wondered, like, could I navigate it? Because if I just don't know. Maybe I could be good at it, who knows? But I feel like I might get distracted or it's like too many stimuli at one time. But yeah, the research that I did, I just kind of wanted to understand the genre and understand the tone. I think that was my biggest concern. So I was definitely going on YouTube and watching different explanations of the original game. But also for me with the audition, because she's a character that we don't know, it's a pro for me because then I don't have to like try to extend something or recreate something that exists. I can really kind of make it my own. So that part I was really excited about. And I felt like understanding what her obstacles are and then what her personality is like, that helped me really get into her character and access certain parts of my own personality that are similar to hers. That she's, she has had a hard life in a lot of ways and that she has a lot of pain and that she's a very everybody in cyberpunk in this whole world is all about survival. They're in a very, very scary environment and they're always fighting for their lives. And so understanding that gave me a sense of like how I need to approach her and what parts of my personality and my own life experiences I kind of need to pull from in order to give that character the life that she has.
The cyberpunk doesn't seem to be just a video game. It's like a blockbuster movie that costs almost like $300 million, and you've got an important role in the game. So how do you feel now?
It feels a little surreal, I guess.
Okay.
The journey of making the game, we made it during the pandemic and I didn't do motion capture. It was all in a booth with a microphone and then getting directed through Zoom. And then, the only other person nearby is the audio engineer. They're wonderful. But it was collaborative in certain ways, but in a lot of ways it was very solo. It was like a very solo experience. I wasn't recording with the other actors. I got to hear them sometimes through my headphones in order to know how to respond. So seeing the final product, hearing what the sound designers and what the other actors did and hearing it all together come to life, like through the characters, like watching it, it feels really like surreal. Like, I can't believe that's me. I can't believe that's my voice. Like, I recognize that, but it's just like experiencing it as if I didn't even play a part. And so I do want to like try playing it. I want to see what it's like to experience it through making the different choices. And that's what I also think is interesting. This being my first video game, there's so many storylines. It's not one storyline. That's why I can't even completely explain what the storyline is.
Okay.
It depends on what you choose as the player, right? So it's really just an honor. I didn't know that Idris Elba was a character. I really look up to him. I think he's one of the most wonderful actors and just so charismatic, so compelling, and like so interesting as a human being. So when I found out, it was actually not even at the first recording session. It was many sessions in after that I found out who's playing Solomon Reed. I knew Solomon is a character in the game, but I didn't know Idris was voicing him. And so I've just this continuous surprise of one surprise after another. Yeah, I don't know how to describe that. It's just so crazy, and it's definitely high quality. And I really want to, applaud CDPR because they did so much work. The reason why it took more time than expected for it to come out, I could understand by recording with them how much they care. They care so much about every detail. They know every detail. Every sentence that I say, they know exactly where I'm coming from and they know who exactly I'm talking to. They know if I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm surprised, or if I'm far away from them, or if I'm close to them. They know everything. It was so well crafted. And that to me as an artist, even if I'm not in video games, I really respect that. I think that creates something that can wow millions of people. And I honestly think that's what Korean people do really well. I'll say that as like a Korean American. When I look at Korean artwork and the films, especially like film and TV, there's such a precision. It's so well thought out and well executed. I'm so impressed by it. It's very, like, it makes me so proud to be Korean, and I'm just amazed by that. So yeah, I see a lot of the parallels too. And I think that kind of effort and care is what makes great art.